My name is Stanley Lee, and I currently live in Louisville, Kentucky. So I chose Xavier back in 2012 when I started my medical career because I wanted an opportunity to practice medicine and to get a chance to start my medical career. I heard that the Caribbean back then was a very viable option to start your medical career, and I chose Xavier because I wanted to, start medicine. I wanted to see the beautiful island of Aruba, and at the same time get a chance to pursue my dreams. So honestly, I went to Xavier because of a recommendation by a family member. A family member knew that this was a good opportunity to go to start my medical career, and I looked at other opportunities, I looked at other schools, but I found that Xavier was the right choice for me. I received a scholarship from Xavier for my MCAT score during my application process, and it was an entrance scholarship that I, was able to use to offset tuition. And then when I got my Step 1 score, I ended up getting financial assistance as well for clinical sciences. So I had a great experience in Xavier. I liked the fact that I knew every single professor. Every single professor knew me because of the smaller class sizes, very intimate program. I knew everyone from my anatomy professor to the deans because they were all my professors, and I knew exactly what their names. They all knew who I was. I could ask them questions freely, and they can give me advice on the spot. I think that's really important in medical school because if you know the people you are working with, it's a lot easier to kind of have that communication and ask questions and get some information from them that you need to succeed. And I think Xavier was really good with that. I think they tailored their curriculum towards passing USMLE Step 1 in the basic sciences part of medical school. They put some question banks. They got some review courses that were available and actually mandatory for the students and assist. So I think they did a fairly good job in preparing us for Step 1 while we were in the island. And of course, Aruba is a beautiful island, so never complain about studying medicine here in Aruba. Coming out of medical school, I chose to do my residency in pediatrics. I take care of the little kids. I did my residency at SUNY Downstate in New York, and now I'm subspecializing and finishing up my pediatric pulmonology fellowship at the University of Louisville in Louisville, Kentucky. And Xavier was so instrumental in getting me that opportunity to become a pediatrician. Absolutely. Being a doctor has been one of the best things that ever happened to me. Being in that position to be able to help families and their children as a pediatrician goes beyond my expectations. And, I always like to help people. I've helped students along the way and my colleagues and whatnot. But when you're put in a situation when you're taking care of children and their health, it's so much more rewarding. It's so much more rewarding to get that opportunity and that privilege to take care of them and their families. After making the decision to come to medical school is easy. You can just sign up, go to any medical school and start your journey, but it's a commitment. It's a process. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of sleepless nights. It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. You need to know how to study. You need to know how to get good scores and then make connections to land your residency. But at the end, when you're there and you scored that residency spot, it's the most rewarding feeling in the world. So Xavier basically opened a lot of doors for me. They gave me the opportunity to become a doctor. They gave me all these opportunities, and not only in basic sciences, but in clinical sciences. They've helped me along the way. Xavier has appointed me as one of their clinical professors in pediatrics recently, and I helped teach back because I love teaching, and I was teaching a course in clinical pediatrics during COVID. And I think that goes a long way in my medical training and my career as a physician. And I love coming back here to Xavier. I love the island. It's a one happy island, and now not being a student anymore and being an alumni and helping the next generation of future doctors, it's the best job in the world. The top three things that stand out is, number one, they've invested a lot in the medical school. We've had New York State accreditation. We have accreditation all over with many different institutions, and we have a beautiful new campus coming up. Number two, I think every time you go back to the island of Aruba, it feels like home, because I lived here for 2 years. I know a lot of people, a lot of the staff at the school, all my professors. It's always a little bit of a homecoming every time I come back to Aruba. The third is, Xavier is that conduit that made us all physicians, and I think that's most important. We're carrying the name of the school, and at the end of the day, no one can take that away from us.